again. So it's like this. Alright. So you got some fucking things you're gonna fucking load up here. So, first things first, of course, you're gonna want to make sure that your scale's fucking working right, of course. So you're gonna calibrate that shit. Fucking exciting stuff, I know. Because I'm a gangster like that, I rolled 2 scales. So we're gonna calibrate this one as well. Alright. So they should be talking. So, you know, whenever you're fucking working with whatever powder you're gonna work with, you should be keeping the bottle out like that so you know what the fuck's in the thing. I also like to write down my load data. So, got 147 grain around those flat points. We're doing 4.2 grains unique, 1.150 Boya. So I like to keep that handy as well. That's probably not going to sit there pretty, but nah, that works. Okay. So there's a couple ways you can go about rolling your powders. So number one, this is your trickler, right? This one's a crappy one. Some of them come with weight in the bottom. They're proper, but because we don't have one of them, I'm gonna clamp mine down. It just makes it a lot easier. Proper, fucking finally. Okay, so now remember what I said about the fucking dryer sheets. One of these. If your fucking thing is sticking like it was, take one of these, wipe the outside. Might take a bit, you know, but you gotta wipe it down. If it still sticks after that, you wipe the inside as well. Take a dry paper towel after, like a microfiber cloth or something, and take out the residue from these, because this has fucking other shit on it, not just fucking, it's not just a sheet, right? You got chemicals and shit. You don't want that shit in your charges, even though it'll be minimal. So you're gonna fill your powder dispenser now. When you're running powder, it's always good to fill it up as much as possible, because that weight is gonna help keep your when you're throwing your powder charges, that weight's gonna help keep them coming out even, or consistent rather. So you can turn that shit on and make sure she's dumping. Yeah. Alright. So, like we were saying, there's a couple of ways to do this. Now, first of all, it's always good practice to make sure that your brass is sized properly. So I got one of these. This is a full length gauge, so this will tell you if your fire or your ammunition is too long. So your bullet should come flush with that. But when you check the cases should go in flush, like that. And there should be no resistance on them coming out. So you should be able to flip it over and it should just drop. So we'll quickly check these. Ah. See, that one's being an asshole. It won't go in without force. So you gotta resize that one. Good. 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 Another asshole. Now you can do this with your barrel of your gun, but I don't like using it for just brass, because if it gets in there and gets stuck before it's resized proper, you don't want to be fucking pulling on that and having the fucking, you know, we're working on the chamber. It's not gonna hurt it, but I don't know. I don't like to do that kind of shit if I don't have to. So I'm gonna quickly resize these again. Double check. Now it's proper. We'll do this one as well. prime these things. When I'm priming on the press, I prefer to prime on the press. What I do is this: nice even squeeze. And you can feel it; it'll stop. When it stops, you want to keep pressure a little bit, but you don't want to pull through it because you don't want to crush that primer. So what that's doing is that's seating the anvil of the primer into the primer compound, and that's how you get good ignition. And when you're primed, that primer should be just recessed, ever so slightly. Do this one too. You're not supposed to handle these things with your bare hands, but you know. And again, squeeze, 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 stops. And again, nicely primed. Be good, so all of our brass is ready to fucking roll, yeah. Alright. I've got some fucking projectiles here. This is 147 grain. Flat nose, round points. Heavy little bastards. My Glocks tend to like heavy loads. Okay, so we got some projectiles. Alright, now. What we're going to do is we're going to take our trickler there, fill that bad boy up with some powder. We're going to put this pan underneath and we're going to prime the trickler. It's going to take a little bit of running the spindle. All you do is twist. And it's going to draw some into the pipe and it's going to slowly dispense it. So we just want to start flowing like that. Just a little bit. Don't need a lot. Top that fucking thing up because I'm a stickler like that. Now, if you don't want to roll the trickler, you can use one of these. Get yourself another pan. And these are a little bit of a pain in the ass because it's hard to really control them going quick and slow, but you know, what do you do? So, okay, so the thing's fucking primed. So what we're going to do is, method number one, turn on your scale with the pan on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to see the tear. And make sure we're in the right units here. So we're doing grains. Don't you fucking do that to me, boy. Come on now. Is it your fucking first time or what? Try this one more fucking time here. Alright, now we're cooking in the kitchen here. So, double check the zeros. Yeah. So this one's reading 108.8 grains for this pan. So let's do the same on this one just to double check. Especially the first couple of times. Now this one's gotta be put into grains. 108.6. Alright. I put more faith in this scale over this scale. This one's a little beat up, so even a couple of points of a grain isn't gonna fucking be the maker, so you know, whatever. So we're gonna run a charge here. Now we're looking for 4.2. I got 5.6 there now. I like to run the thing a couple of times, the first couple of times before I start taking the charges for real. Just kind of lets it get into the groove and dusts up the insides there. This thing's sticking. Anti-static, this fucking bitch. That ought to do it. So now let's weigh one for real here. As every time I run a powder charge, I run it the same way. I tap up twice and then just down. I give it a little bit of force down, but I don't like fucking kill it. So, okay, so yeah, 5.4, so yeah. Okay, so we're gonna back that off a bit. Run a couple. That shit. Alright, so now, again, good practice to keep that fucker right there. Alright, so we're trying to fucking figure out where our load's at. So always double check the zero on the pan because it's gonna collect up some dust and whatnot. 5.4 again, like really. This thing's being fucking Wackler here. Now we're fucking getting there. 4.7. Back it off a bit more. 4.4, a little bit more yet. 3.9. Okay, perfect. So 4.1. So good. So first way to do it is to run it short, so that's reading 4.1. I'll use the trickler, a couple of grains at a time, until I hit my charge weight of 4.2. And you're gonna get Mr. fucking Funnel here. Put that VH in the fucking case. Put your projectile in there. You're fucking away to the races. Alright, so you can do that. You can run your charges light. Four, and then trickle them up. At top of the scale, because sometimes the scale doesn't register how fine 0.2 of a grain is, so you have to tell it to look again. And again, 4.2, so then I would put it into a cartridge again, right? Now, the other way to do it is to actually get it to throw 4.2. And then, once you're sure of your charge, which, if I was going in the right direction, alright, 4.2. So what I would do is I would continue weighing a bunch of them off into this and putting them into cases. I only have 7 here, so I'm not going to do it, but I would continue doing it. And once I've seen like 5, 6, 7, quite a few in a row where it's throwing regular the same powder charge, then what I'll start doing is this number. And the nice thing is, and you notice how high this trickler is. It's not going to work for rifle, but for pistol, the nice thing is that it sits over top of the case. So what you can do is tear off the case on the scale, throw the charge into the case direct. I tap a couple of times sometimes just to make sure I get it all. Stick it on the scale underneath the trickler, and in that way, if it's running proper like it should be. If it was light, you can trickle some in, but ideally it's going to be pretty bang on. 0. Like that, bang on 4.2. So then I would just done. I like to put the bullet on the case and put it in the do it up, and I mean I can keep this on here and crimp them as well, right, at the same time, because I have a separate thigh for it. Right, so, you know, and those two are completely done. You don't have to worry about them no more. Now, you just keep doing that, but each case is not going to weigh the same, so you have to zero each case. Heavy again, but what do you do? Still a bit heavy. 4.1, so this one's a bit light, so now if I line that up right, I can just trickle directly into the case. Done. 4.2. Bullet, crimp the bitch, she done. So eventually, once you start trusting that your thing is throwing correctly, and then, you know, you can always double check, cross-reference. So now this one's off by about 0.2 from what that one's reading. Well, right now they're reading the same, so that's good. There, 4 grain, 4 grain, perfect. So we'll top that up to 4.2. Done. Now I like this method a lot better. It's a lot more quicker and streamlined than weighing into the thing, using the funnel, bullshit-yada. The funnel can get the static problem as well, and then you're fucking sitting there wanting to shoot yourself in the head with the bullets you just made for yourself. But you know how that goes, so I'm confident the scale's working okay at this point, so zero that. 4.2. So then once I would see it run that weight several times, I would just start throwing the charges into the cases. For plinking ammo, if you're off by 0.1, 0.2, not the biggest deal. You know, if you're looking for real precision pistol ammo, you're going to want to weigh every cartridge. And that goes for rifle too. But for plinking ammo, that 0.1 or 0.2 is not going to be a big deal, but I'd still check weigh every 5 or every 10. Just because once it gets away on you, it's quick to get away on you. And when I'm reloading these as well, what I'll do is I'll take one of these and I'll put them in order as they go, right? I'll alternate for ease of getting them out. So I'll do this, and that way, if I go and say I start running them without weighing every single one, and I get down to here or whatever, and I check weigh one after, 5 or 10 rounds, then I see it's off by like a fucking grain, I know which were the last ones and I can go back and check weigh those. Now, if you're doing that, sometimes it's better to load the bullet after you weigh them all. That way you don't have to unseat a bullet and shit, but yeah, you know. Tear. Fucking index this thing again. Cool. So let's tear that. Throw the charge. 4.1. Let's trickle that up. Doesn't take much of the trickler either. So once it gets full up, it'll trickle it out there quick if you really crank her out, but if you're easy with it, it'll go nice and easy and you won't be dumping it back. See, crimp, done. And that's basically all there is to it, man. I mean, this is the streamlined way for me. I'm a stickler. I usually like, you know, in pistol, I'm doing pistol and I'm just trying to crank them out. Especially on this thing, I'll definitely only check weigh every 5 or 10 because this thing I just quick. It's 4.2. So this thing's throwing nice and accurate now. I would start to put some faith behind it, and you see it took quite a few charges to get us there. I guess if you index it to the right fucking die, it took quite a few charges to get us there. But once it's there, it's usually pretty good about staying. So, and you can check with your gauge again. See, it goes all the way in. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's flush or underneath. So then you know that that's good. Now another way to do it, if you don't have one of those yet or you don't want to invest in one, you take your fucking pistol, right? Clear. Take your barrel out your pistol. And you can do the same thing. So just take it. It should plunk in nice and easy, and there's a little bit of fucking grease or something in there, but it should fall out with, yeah, there's something in there grabbing up on them. It needs a cleaning, but it should fall out free. So make sure it's nice and clean before you do it, unlike what I've just done here, and it'll fall free just like the case gauge. This thing. So when you drop it in, it'll drop in nice and easy. And it'll just fall out. And then that way you know that they're going to load. So if it takes force to get it in, you want to call that load. You don't want to fucking put that in your pistol because then you're going to have to force it home with the slide. And you might have potential fucking problem extracting that thing in. It's going to be a pain in the ass. So you want to make sure it goes in there nice and easy, comes out nice and easy. And that's about it, brother.